Hello everyone, how are you guys? I hope you're doing great. Now this is going to be a little bit of a different video. I love fully immersing myself into a topic and then telling people about that topic because I'm obsessed with it. So I thought, why not put that to good use? So today we're going to be going into the deep dive of Justin Bieber. Now I know he's had many controversies, many legal matters. We're going to be looking at this in a more of a psychoanalytical perspective. Before I get started, everything in this video is alleged. I just say what the internet tells me. Do not send anyone mentioned in this video hate. This is just to entertain others, okay? Okay, so let's get started. Who is Justin Bieber? I'm gonna take y'all back to the glorious year that is 1975. In 1975, a woman named Patricia Millette was born in Stratford, Ontario, Canada. At a very young age, she was faced with tragedy. When Patty was only 2 years old, her sister Sally was struck by a motor vehicle and passed away at the age of 5. Patty would endure a lot of physical and sexual abuse at this time. She says that her first experience of sexual abuse was as young as age 3. This horrendous violence took place until she was about 14 years old. Patty even describes this abuse as being violated so many times that as the years went by, it began to feel more normal for her. She describes it as a strange marriage, knowing something is wrong, yet at the same time finding it familiar and commonplace, almost kind of like Stockholm Syndrome. Now, the hobbies that Patty loved while growing up was acting and singing. At age 9, she began appearing on television and children's talent shows. When she was 10, she was casted in a big Shakespeare theatrical production at the Stratford Shakespeare Festival, which brings in over millions and millions of tourists every year. Throughout middle and high school, she basically took every single singing, choir, theater, acting class possible. She loved it, and it was really her passion. She ended up signing with a label, but unfortunately, her dreams of acting and singing would come to a screeching halt when her parents said they simply could not afford it. They could not afford driving an hour and a half every weekend for her auditions. Now, this devastated Patty so much to the point she started abusing drugs and alcohol. She also started shoplifting and vandalizing school property. The next year, when Patty turned 15 years old, she began a relationship with a guy named Jeremy. Now, their relationship was pretty off and on. It would last for 4 years, but Jeremy was Christian, and that really rubbed off on Patty. Now, the following year, when Patty was 16 years old, she decided to leave home and go live on her own. She would support herself by dealing drugs and shoplifting, along with other petty crimes. During this time, she was extremely depressed, very lonely, and had thoughts of taking her own life. Eventually, those thoughts would manifest into her wanting to take action. When she was 17 years old, she would attempt to take her own life, which she thankfully failed at doing. Now, this was kind of her wake-up call. She ended up going into a mental facility to heal and get help. When Patty came out, she was ready to start a new chapter. She was heavily influenced in the Christian faith now and wanted to only surround herself with people that were Christians. So, who would she be calling up? Old friends, including Jeremy. So her and Jeremy, after she got out of the mental facility, would rekindle and eventually start dating. It was only 6 months later that Patty and Jeremy would become pregnant. At this point, Patty was 18 years old and I think was ready to fully embrace being a mother and just starting her new chapter with a little one. Jeremy and Patty welcomed their child into the world on March 1st, 1994, 1 month before Patty's 19th birthday. Their baby boy was named Justin Drew Bieber. After Justin was born, Patty and Jeremy really tried to make it work. I think they tried for about 10 months. Since Patty and Jeremy split up, this led to Patty raising Justin, initially at first at a woman's shelter, and eventually was able to get a home, but ultimately Justin was raised in a low-income single-parent household. Patty's parents, Diane and Bruce, were very helpful with raising their grandson, Justin. They were very Christian, very strong in their faith, which was excellent for Patty's new start. Stratford was a very cozy town. It was where people went, lived their whole lives. A lot of people did not leave Stratford once you were there. As early as 2 years old, Patty started noticing that Justin had a natural talent for rhythm and music.
My name is Justin. This is how I drum.
You want to be a drummer when you grow up?
I can do it faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
When Justin was only 4, Patty went ahead and got him his first drum, which later turned into him getting a guitar, which then led to him getting a piano at a later point. But it was very clear that he was naturally musically inclined. Straight up, he was a child prodigy. He would listen to the radio and would go home and teach himself what he just heard on the radio on his keyboard. He also learned how to play the trumpet when he was growing up. So loved music, was in choir class. I mean, even his teachers in 7th grade knew that he was abnormally talented.
He wants us to meet his favorite teachers, Miss Brooker and Mr. Monteith.
Not planned whatsoever.
Good to see you.
Me too, you too.
How have you been?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
What do you remember about him most? Was there anything that stood out?
He has no fear, is one of the things that I found about him. I couldn't believe how quickly he could pick things up, like whether it be basketball, soccer, or obviously music and dancing and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I remember recognizing Justin's passion for singing even in grade 7.
Now, Justin liked a lot of other stuff, loved ice hockey, loved soccer, was even in the chess club at some point.
You had to keep him going all the time. He had to be in sports all the time, or if not, he was bouncing off the walls.
He was pretty much good at everything that he put his mind to. He played travel hockey, travel soccer, won tournaments in the chess club. He just really excelled at everything he did.
He also loved to dance. He was so inspired by Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was his muse. Now, as he was raised by Patty and his grandparents, who were very, very Catholic, that really influenced who he was in his early teen years and as a child. So growing up, Justin was very influenced by the Catholic faith. He was very well loved in his church community. Justin was bilingual in elementary school. He learned French at his Catholic school. So very, very heavily influenced by his faith and was very close with his grandparents. His grandparents were like his rock at this time. So being raised in a very religious, creative, safe, kind of humble environment. They lived below the poverty line. They didn't have much. Really made Justin grow up into being a very grounded, cheeky, talented kid. As he got older, he started showcasing his hobby for music and his love for music out into the streets of Stratford. He became a street performer. So that just goes to show his natural drive at a very young age and how hard he worked, which would later be extremely exploited.
Very seldom did he come home from a night without $150 to $200 for sitting there for about an hour.
My spot specifically was kind of like right
here.
here.
Justin, when you set out to do this, did you have a goal in mind?
No, I was basically just doing it for fun.
So around the age of 12, as his teachers were really encouraging him to explore music, his mom was also really encouraging for his passions. He ended up competing in a local singing competition where he actually got 2nd place. I think he was kind of upset because his grandparents couldn't come to see the show. And so Patty, who had recorded it, ended up uploading it onto YouTube. This was 2007, so YouTube at this time had only been around for like 2 years. The way this kick-started a domino effect. Now, at the same time, there was a man who worked for a record company as their executive director of marketing, was searching on YouTube for some project, and also had been working on a long-term project of finding essentially the next Michael Jackson. So here this guy is farting around on YouTube when he should have been working. But he accidentally clicks on Patty's video of Justin singing, and he's like, wait, this kid is good. Now this man was, some might define it as obsessed, some might call it stalking, some might call it harassment. But this executive decided he had to get in touch with Patty, to the point where it didn't matter if Patty ignored his first few messages. He did not want to take that as a no. He decided to find their social media, MySpace, tried getting Patty's attention on there, didn't work. He then went as far as calling the local school districts. Sir, if you don't...
I got in touch with the school boards of 3 different areas from the Google banners, and told them I'm looking for this kid, and please have his mother call me from an unknown number so she doesn't feel like I'm a weirdo.
Freak! The ethics and the morals kind of were out the window. I mean, this was the late 2000s, but still, like, almost a 30-year-old man. And you're like harassing this single mom and her son. But this man is the Scooter Samuel Braun. I mean, even Justin says that Scooter would not let it go.
He kind of hunted me down, kind of, but he messaged me on my YouTube, and my mom kind of ignored it because we get a lot of emails saying, oh, I want to be your manager, I want to sign you, I want to do this, that. And my mom kind of just thought of it as like, whatever. Yeah. Like, he's just Justin. Like he looked in the background of my videos and seen that, like, where I lived and stuff. Yeah. And kind of tracked me down. Yeah. And it was kind of creepy, actually. My mom finally just wanted to get rid of him, so she called him back from an unknown number. Yeah. And it was just like, hello. And he told my mom a lot of like stuff about him, and told him to check him out on Google and stuff. So
now, I'm sure if you like music, you're no stranger to hearing the name Scooter Braun. He worked with many artists, including Justin, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, Kanye West, Taylor Swift. Early years, he worked with Ludacris, Eminem, and Britney Spears, obviously Usher, Justin Timberlake, and many more. He is a very well-known musical manager in the industry.
I was really impressed with, how young he was and how he was holding the crowd and with his guitar, and, he was raw talent. And my gut just went off, and I said, I need to find this kid.
Your gut is off. It's leaking. Take a probiotic.
So eventually, in the summer of 2008, Scooter convinces Patty to fly out Justin to Atlanta because he said, hey, I'm going to be with Usher. I know Justin likes Usher. Wouldn't it be cool if Justin met Usher? So they head out to Atlanta to meet with Scooter Braun and Usher.
2 or 3 weeks ago, I was with Usher.
Yeah, just hanging out with Usher?
Just,
okay.
Yeah. I was with him about, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and, yeah.
What was that like?
It was really exciting to meet him and stuff. Yeah. He's one of my inspirations, so.
Well, how did he find you? Like, how did that meeting come about?
Well, my manager, he has lots of connections, and he kind of set it up because he knows Usher personally.
Okay. Because, you talk about doing the talent shows and everything, but when you sing for, Usher and Justin, what is that like?
Oh, wow, it's crazy. I would never have thought that this opportunity would happen. It's out of this world.
Yeah. Do you get nervous when you sing?
To be honest, no, not really, no.
Okay, well, that's good, But when you sing for these people, do you get nervous? No! Star of the making. Nice!
Now, Usher and Justin Timberlake would kind of go into this tug of war over who gets Justin Bieber or not, because they were both very impressed by this little kid from Canada, as everyone was.
So it almost became like a bidding war between them, two of the biggest pop stars, you know, wanting to be involved with my little Justin.
Now, when they left from this trip, there was not a contract signed. Justin was actually getting a lot of traction on YouTube at this time. He kind of went viral on YouTube. He had like a good amount of fans before his debut single even came out.
It's kind of weird because I'm just like a normal person. I play sports and stuff with my friends, and I don't know, it's kind of different for me.
Yeah. So. What do your schoolmates think about this? What do they say?
Sometimes they're like, wow, that's really cool, but sometimes I don't tell them because I just want to be a regular kid.
Yeah.
So a lot of music executives were already reaching out to Patty at the time, and she was not having it. She was like, no, ignoring all of them. Well, there was this one man. So Patty was like, okay, I'm just gonna simmer on this a little bit. I'm just gonna marinate, okay? And figure out what is going to be the best option for my son. Usher ultimately ended up beating out Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber ended up signing to Island Def Jam Records in 2008.
When you get success, you know, when you get the recording deal and everything, what do you see for yourself? What kind of career would you like to have?
Well, I see myself doing more like R&B, like sort of like Usher or Justin or like an old Michael Jackson. But actually, what I plan to do when if I get famous, the first thing I want to do is get me and my mom a house. So.
Oh.
Patty would end up packing up her and her son to move out of the old, quiet, quaint, calm little town of Stratford, Ontario, and travel about 900 miles to Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, Grandma.
Bye, sweetheart. Bye, sweetie.
Bye, sweetie.
Oh, yeah.
Now, when Justin and Patty moved, his grandparents took it very hard. His granddad even said, you know, we used to know everything about Justin and what he was doing in his life, and now we don't.
A little more difficult for grandfather Bruce Dale, who really can't understand this world his darling grandson has brought to his doorstep.
I find it very hard to, you know, like, they're away, and I used to know what he was doing all the time. Now you never know.
Are you worried for him?
No, Patty's there. She will look after him.
If Grandpa wants to know what Justin is doing, he should call Justin's manager, Scooter Braun.
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? Like.
Why do you think all of this is happening to you?
I think that as a 15-year-old kid, I'm trying to say it without being arrogant, not a lot of kids are able to play as many instruments as I play. I'm not trying to be like cocky or anything, but it's just like coming from Stratford, Ontario, and just like it basically gave others like hope because I come from basically somewhere that nothing really comes from.
So before his debut album even came out, he had 40 million fans just from YouTube. This really kind of started the first, I would say, internet parasocial fandom, because during the lead up to Justin's debut, I think EP, My World, it only had 9 songs on it, 7 of which debuted at #1. Scooter had essentially marketed or wanted to market Justin as everyone's boyfriend.
Suddenly, he's elevated to become everybody's boyfriend. I think that's the thing about him, is that he tweets to his fans all the time. He's very much in contact with all the time, and he makes it clear to them that they could be the one that would become his next girlfriend. And they feel like they're genuinely close to him. They're following his every move on Twitter. I mean, he's constantly trending. Justin Bieber is always up there on Twitter.
Do you try and reply to everyone who Twitters you, or do you
I try to reply to as many people as I possibly can. You know, my fans are pretty crazy. They send me a lot of messages, so I try to send them as many messages as I can.
It was amazing. It took like 5 seconds though, and I was waiting since Wednesday, sleeping over. But I don't know, I love him.
They know what he's doing every day because he's on Twitter, he's on Facebook. You can know where he is, what he's doing, how he's feeling. You can see his songs, you can get his videos. You almost feel like you know this kid.
Justin's fans are so crazy about him because they really feel like he belongs to them.
And then I was like, can I have a hug? And he was like, of course. And like, he grabbed my waist and like, oh my God, it was just amazing. I love him so much. Take one.
With his parasocial fandom, a lot of boundaries were not there. Like, think about how Chappell Roan has essentially broken down so early into her blow up, and she's 26, I think, 27. Justin was 15. Okay. And he has fans grabbing at him, touching him, screaming, stalking him, stalking his family. I mean, there was a situation in Australia where not only was an event canceled, but eight or nine girls were hospitalized because of a stampede before one of Justin's concerts, because it was rumored that he showed up early. So on November 24th, 2009, Justin would release his first single, One Time, on YouTube, where Usher is actually hitting him up, calling him.
Yo, Usher.
JB, what's up, man?
Oh, I think that's Usher's house because Usher's right there. Okay. Scooter Braun introduced him to a bunch of adult A-list celebrity stars. People like Rihanna. We already know he introduced him to Usher, who had introduced him to P. Diddy. I just think, looking back, it's really weird that a 15-year-old is best friends with a bunch of 30-plus-year-olds. Justin even says, like, I'm surrounded by old people all day. Like, they're all 30.
One of the funniest things that Justin actually says about Team Bieber is, I'm surrounded by old people all day. I mean, they're all 30.
And shortly after that, his debut EP, My World, would go platinum, making him the first artist to have 7 songs on the Billboard Top 100 from a first album ever. He was thrown, like, yeeted into the limelight. He would go on to open for Taylor Swift at Wembley Stadium in 2009, where he actually broke his foot and continued dancing.
You told me to break a leg. I couldn't break a leg, but I broke my foot for you. It's kind of like a figurative statement. All joking aside, he broke his foot. I did. On stage, in front of 11,000 people. Yeah. It wasn't and finished the song. Yeah. And like all these
But he did all of this at 15 years old. With his ginormous success, he was even asked to come perform at the White House for the Obamas. That is crazy. At this point, Justin literally said, I live out of a suitcase because of how much I'm traveling for promoting this album.
For teen pop star Justin Bieber, a visit home to Stratford, Ontario is becoming a rare thing.
I live in a suitcase. I travel so much.
We're always on the road. We are in hotels and living out of our suitcase on adventures.
They had Justin working overtime. He went on several live shows to perform. The Today Show, The Wendy Williams Show, Ellen, Good Morning America, and many more. Now, this is where we first kind of see the marketing and the questions and the persona that was being set up for Justin.
He'll tell you it's all about marketing and hype.
You can't think just music anymore. This is a multimedia business. And the exposure is worldwide now. You know, they can tell me about 20 years ago and how many more records they can sell and everything else, but they can't tell me that they could fly to Germany or fly to the UK or fly to Australia and show up and have thousands of kids screaming. That's the internet.
Being everyone's boyfriend, he was subjected to extreme sexualization as a boy, a 15-year-old boy.
Have you had your first kiss yet?
Yeah.
Have you gotten a lot of bras and panties thrown on stage yet?
I've got a couple.
A couple? Do you keep them?
Yeah, I hang them up on my wall. No, I don't keep them. No, I don't keep them.
You guys never gave me the sex talk. Okay. So why don't you give me the sex talk? I feel uncomfortable right now. Oh. I don't want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy. That's pretty weird.
Okay, well, this is the first time that we've ever done an interview around a stack of pillows. No.
But it's gonna be fun, right?
Right. Well, this is how. Never mind.
Jump in. Gonna come chill? Come on.
No. It's a little awkward, you know. I'm gonna sit right here.
Cool.
Get up in there, you two.
Easy, John.
I wasn't doing it to be famous or anything, so.
Well, see, we do, but we just hit each other in the biscuits and stuff, and we're not famous about that. So, I'm sorry, you don't have to answer that. Okay, Justin. So somebody.
I feel violated right now. I did grab his butt. I'm single, but I think that's cougar rape, if you ask me. It was firm, just like you'd expect. I just turned 40. Yeah, you know, I gave him a kiss and there was a lot of lipstick, and then my partner Luke decided to wipe it off, and I was like, no, asshole, I did that for a reason. So remember me. So then I couldn't help it. He was just so delicious. So little, just, I want to tear his head off and eat it. Just loved it.
How have you been enjoying the night so far?
Great. I just got to neck Justin Bieber and grab his butt.
I saw that you like totally, like it was like a full-on almost makeout session.
A little cougar scary.
Yeah.
But I took the opportunity in the window, considering I'll never get to do it again, and kind of posted them.
Available.
Can you imagine how hilarious that would be? It would be the cougar score of the century. Jenny McCarthy dates Justin Bieber.
Would you?
I want some Bieber fever, and I want a Bieber rash. Maybe a cougar rash.
So, would you make them true? Would you be interested in a Justin? I mean, is he of age? He is of age. I would hit that. Who wouldn't hit that?
Actually, before that, I had said in an interview that I wanted to set him up with my sister, Kendall, who's 14, and then he had responded in an interview saying that no, he didn't want to be hooked up with my sister, he liked me, or something just silly like that. It was a joke. And so when I met him in Washington, D.C., we took a picture together, and he Twittered it and said, you know, me and my girlfriend Kim. And instantly, I mean, it was on CNN, like all over the place, that him and I were dating.
And then he also has older men hating on him. Death threats were a constant. And all of that really stemmed from the internet and where he came from, where it started, right? You know, cyberbullying just started to become a thing. So no one really knew to approach being famous and the loud narrative that comes with that online, to not taking that personally, especially as a 15-year-old teenager. YouTube was going crazy. Facebook was going crazy. MySpace was going crazy. Twitter was going crazy. It was reported that Bieber accounted for 3% of Twitter's traffic in 2010. So that just goes to show how interactive he was with his fans and his fan base. He was the most searched celebrity on Google. Like, he was everywhere. And his team did a very poor job from protecting him and guiding him. Truly. So entering 2010, Justin was a presenter at the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards. First single, Baby, featuring Ludacris, was released from his debut album, My World 2.0, that same month. So no break from the first EP.
Bus, club, another club, plane, next place, no sleep, no fear. Nobody believed in me.
Baby was an international hit. Like, everyone knows Baby. He also had other promotional singles that came out during this time and was just also heavily promoting it. Just really burning out this poor kid who just had a passion for music. And of course, you know, he's about to turn 16 at this time. He loves the attention. He's not complaining. He likes the money, the glitz, the glam, but it won't be much longer until we start to see the horrors of the music industry take effect on child stars like Justin.
Well, at some point, there's only so much marketing and PR you can do. Ultimately, he's going to have to stand on his own talent.
if he truly is talented. When you're surrounded by, you know, the idol makers, that what happens is that it's hard to see the talent through the marketing. You don't really know what the talent is, and you can't really tell what the talent is until down the road.
So in order to promote his technically debut album, he was going on The View, Kids' Choice Awards, The Late Show with David Letterman, and the album ended up coming out in March 2010. So his EP came out in November. 4 months later, his actual album comes out. Baby really goes to show the dichotomy of the love-hate relationship society had with Justin Bieber that he was well aware of. Baby was the most viewed YouTube video in 2009, along with being the most disliked YouTube video in 2009. So men hated him either because they were jealous, they were misogynistic because girls loved him, and like a lot of men just hate anything girls love. Okay, he was at a basketball game and got booed by grown adult men.
And there's still 2:24 remaining here in this third period. Here the half cheers, half boos here at the Garden because they just put up Justin Bieber on the big screen there. You're seeing first, why would you do the kid? The boos are from the guys and the cheers are from the girls.
Like, do y'all not have kids? I'm just confused why they thought that was okay. Imagine that happening to you at like 15. Very weird, very parasocial, very invasive, exploitative. A man by the name Greg Leach, you call him? This grown man used his free time to make an app that basically eliminates any mention and photograph of Justin from the internet on your browser. Okay.
It would find images of him, it would cover it up. If it found text of him, it would cover it up. You know, this is an example of like what it does. That's the iTunes example. You know, it covers up all mentions of his albums, anything else. So simple, so easy to do. Yeah, then I posted it onto the Fat Lab blog, created a really goofy video. It's about a minute long with a parody of a song that basically questioned his puberty, questioned his voice. You know, is he actually really who he is? At that point, too, Justin Bieber also ran into a glass door. And so with that, I figured, okay, my project, all the media press that I got, was okay, it was done. But instead, no, I get fan mails calling me Hitler because I'm trying to cover up his name. I'm eradicating him from the internet. And that's basically like Hitler and the Jews. I guess that's a compliment. I'm very weary of 12-year-olds right now. I hope there's none in the audience.
And the inappropriate conversation around this album was Justin going through puberty.
What about like the voice cracking? Have you had that problem yet?
Not really too much.
Not so much. Okay, well that's good.
I did a story on you a little while ago, and they were talking about how your voice is changing, and in fact, because you can't sing the songs you used to, you have to take singing lessons again. True or untrue?
That's false. You know, my voice is changing. You know, everybody's voice changes. Everyone goes through puberty. You know, it's just a natural thing. Everyone does it. I'm not like some superpower human that doesn't go through puberty.
Man, I had money, cars, girls. I had everything. Until it came.
What came?
Puberty.
Puberty happens to everybody. Everybody, you know, all guys, their voices change. And, you know, my voice is like, it's deeper than it was before, and it's gradually changing. It's not like one day my voice is up here, and then the next day I'm down here. It's been gradual. So I have a great vocal coach who's helping me through it, and it hasn't been a problem.
You forgot about one little thing. It's called the music.
Like, so awkward, so invasive, so inappropriate. Like, he is a minor. Why are you talking about this? It was noted that his voice was deeper than his debut EP.
Da! Da! Okay? Da! You stupid!
The fact that he even had to address that is insane. Justin guest starred in the season premiere of CSI, so he was getting into his acting career, but like overworking him still. At this point, it was really starting to show that young Justin was getting very burnt out, as anyone would.
there have been some cracks in this very well put together facade that is Justin Bieber. In Australia, not that long ago, Justin was going to perform on a TV show, and the stage manager put his hand on Justin's back to kind of guide him to where he was supposed to stand. And according to that stage manager, Justin said, "Don't effing touch me," and had like a little pop at the stage manager, and that guy ended up going on the radio and talking about it and saying he was disappointed that this nice kid would be so rude to him. And I think, though, that what that kind of shows is, you know, Justin, like anybody else, has a limit of what he can take.
The AMA Awards. He clean sweeped the AMA Awards 2010. He won 4 of the major big awards. He's doing his after show interviews and people are like, "How do you feel?" And the first thing he says is like, "Actually, I have a headache." He essentially just kind of talks about how it's been a little hard, but he quickly is like, you know, covers it up, back to the machine, back to being like a little puppet, and just goes, "But you know, it's still really fun and whatever." But he said, and as early as 2010, that he was tired.
Now I am backstage at the American Music Awards with the man of this entire night, Justin Bieber. Congrats!
Thank you so much.
Okay, so 4 awards. What are you feeling right now?
Well, I have a little bit of a headache. It's been a lot. It's been, you know, amazing. I want to thank all my fans and everything for really supporting me, and it's been a great night.
You're such a superstar, and we have to remember that you're still so young.
Exactly.
What is it like to handle your schedule, your music, the fame?
It's definitely hard. It's hard not only for a 16-year-old boy, but it's hard for anyone of any age. So I think that God is the only one keeping me sane right now.
You even see him to start not really acting like himself. He's being extremely exploited. His team is not taking care of him, not putting him on the right track.
What?
You tell me. Scale of 1 to 10.
7.
-3.
Was not a 4.
Justin needs rest. I mean, that's really our best friend at this point.
My voice sounded good in a couple of them.
Hear how your voice sounds now? He's giving it everything he's got. But doing 86 shows for any vocalist is a lot to ask.
How's everyone doing? Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to ask? Yes. I'm feeling all right. Probably like a 4 out of 10. Aww.
The vocal rest really is the most important thing for Justin right now because his voice is fatigued. The bigger part is he's 16 years old and he doesn't know when to shut up.
I was able to see that his vocal cords are swollen and there's a lot of mucus and a lot of junk and debris all over his throat.
Okay, well, here's perfect timing. Come here. This is our agent. He just walked out.
Okay.
This is the doctor.
Oh, great. I'm glad you're here. His throat's really infected, so he really needs to take some time off.
When Justin has days off, it's usually when he comes back his hoarsest.
Well, yeah. Well, he's got to learn.
He screams and yells.
We want him to be a healthy 16-year-old, but if he's taking on this career as a commitment, it comes with obligations, and there's a professionalism that comes along with it at any age where you have to make certain sacrifices. And that's why I think he has to cancel tomorrow's event. Syracuse is out of the question. No way.
There's going to be a lot of kids that are going to be let down.
Can I tell you something? Hear me clearly on this. That you do this now and move 1 or 2, or we're going to be shutting down 5, 6, maybe 7 later. Do you want to cancel 7 shows or move 1 or 2 now?
Move 1.
Okay, then we're going to move 1 now, and that's the option you have tonight. You may not have this option if you don't make smart decisions about this in a week or 2. That's kind of where we are.
We've never canceled a show. We've done over 120 shows in the last 2 years. We did 14 shows with broken foot, sang through strep throat. We were 3 days from the biggest show of our tour. Timing could not be worse.
Can you give me an E?
What about McDonald's tonight?
No.
Tonight?
Yeah. Give me an E.
Like chicken nuggets?
Fried stuff the doctor said you're not supposed to have. Those are fried.
Yeah, but he said,
Yeah,
he
but
said no one's perfect. And he said if you do it, you're a kid and you can do it.
I'll tell you what. Only trying to help you here. Is this what you want to do? You're still in the game? Are you ready to Canada and then go home to Canada? Nope, you're still in the game then, right? Okay. People don't often understand if a singer says, well, my voice is going down. They understand if a football player tears a muscle. But the same thing really can happen to a singer's throat.
There was a story where Justin wanted to break so bad, and he wanted to hang out with his friends so bad that him and one of his buddies hid his passport so that way he couldn't leave. His team, when they found out that he had hid it on purpose, because he ended up coming clean about it, you know, they were like, "Are you okay?" And they kind of asked him about it. And the story goes that he said he was fine and went back to like being a little machine, being a little puppet from 2011 technically, because this was December 2010, all the way to November 2012. This is when Selena and Jolena was alive and well. Okay. These kids, Justin's 16, Selena's 18. Their teen relationship was very public, okay? It was very public, very also invasive, very exploitative, from paparazzi to PR, you name it. And it really started a feud between the fandoms of Selena and Justin. Like, Liebers were sending Selena death threats. These are like 12-year-olds. Like, where are the parents? I blame the parents, honestly. I blame the parents and the adults. Selena's fans would send Justin and Beliebers death threats. So entering 2011, Justin comes out with Never Say Never. I did see that in theaters with my mom. This was directed by John Chu and topped the box office with an estimated gross of $12.4 million on its opening day. Now, in 2010, he also started his world tour right after his 17th birthday.
Hi, Justin. Can you please put that down?
Are you old enough to drive? Hey man, the man just turned 17. I know. Wow. Back up. Back up. Hey man, get out of Bieber's way.
Justin, drive safely. Drive safely, Justin. Justin, drive safely. Justin, please drive safely. Justin, please drive safely.
Happy birthday, Justin.
Justin, Selena, tell him to drive safely, please. Justin!
You people are fucking sick!
Now, in between when Never Say Never came out and then the end of his tour, Justin was very busy still. Where is Patty? Like, Patty, pull your son out of this. In 2009, okay, criminal charges were filed against Scooter Braun and another Def Jam Records executive after there was a mall frenzy during a signing. Now, it says thousands of Justin's fans turned up to the signing session. Police had not been expecting the crowds to be that big and essentially ordered the event to be shut down. The police had accused Scooter and the other executive by failing to disperse the crowd, and they pressed charges against Scooter Braun for child endangerment. This is what I mean by they did not protect Justin from the beginning. He was always a cash pawn for Scooter Braun.
I started this business, it started growing, but I was definitely faking it till I make it. I'd make a ton of money on a party on Thursday and spend it on Tuesday, and I bought a flashy Mercedes-Benz on eBay for 30 grand cash with that money, and it had rims, and I'd drive around and like tell every rapper I'm doing it in Atlanta and get them to come to my party, and I'd spend all the money kind of building this reputation. At 20 years old, I got recognized by a producer named Jermaine Dupri in Atlanta, and he said, you got more potential than parties, and I became the youngest vice president of music, and I was 20 years old. And I had all these ideas about social media, and no one was listening.
What year was this?
2003, 2004, and I had enough money for about 13 months before I went dead broke. And I said, okay, I'm gonna quit the parties cold turkey. I'm gonna build this. I'm gonna be an executive. I'm gonna build my own company. I'm gonna risk it. And then I found this little kid on YouTube in the middle of the night, because that's what happens when you're a grown man on the internet in the middle of the night. You stare at a little boy singing, and you're like, little boy, come be with me. I'm the only person that's ever been arrested for doing that. And what happened was I had asked Justin and his mom, living in a townhouse that I was paying for with his education. I was paying for hockey. I was risking it all, and they didn't know it. They thought I was this young hotshot in Atlanta and had all these connections and knew all these people.
You dirty little liar.
And I was really risking everything, and my dad and I are close, and he called just to check on me, and see how I was doing, because I hadn't taken anything from him since I left to go to college. And he was talking to me, and I told the truth. I broke down. I'll never forget, it was month 11, I was 25 years old, and I said, everyone in Atlanta thinks I'm doing it. I'm this hotshot, I was this young executive, and the truth is I'm a failure. I got this kid and his mom depending on me, I got this other artist depending on me, and I'm 2 months from being dead broke and telling them I have nothing, and I'm a joke, it's all fake.
Insufficient funds. You ain't got no money. Woo.
And I was crying, and my dad said to me, he had never seen me like that before, and he said to me on the phone, he goes, look, you haven't listened to me since you were 18, and you came this far, you might as well see it through. And the next morning, Asher Roth came to my apartment and played me a song called I Love College. And immediately I knew what to do. And we ended up building enough hype in those next 30 days that we had $1 million pub deal. I got a $150,000 commission, doubled down, put it on Justin, and the rest is history. And that was the day I learned that success and failure literally live next door to each other.
Now, Scooter was able to get around these charges when the record company and the management firm pleaded guilty to breaking the fire codes, essentially. Now, for these charges to fully be settled, Justin had to post an anti-bullying campaign in order to save Scooter's butt. This 17-year-old had to do this over an event that happened when he was like 15 too. Like, Scooter, this 30-year-old man, is using this. Yeah, anyway.
The highlight of the new website is a public service announcement featuring pop star Justin Bieber.
What's up, guys? Justin Bieber here. Is there anything you want to tell, like, other middle schoolers or other people that are getting picked on or bullied? Is there any positive message you can tell them to get through it, you know, because you were able to get through it?
Definitely. Like, you're being cyberbullied. You think you have nothing else to do. There is stuff you can do. You can get offline, ask somebody to help you, tell people it's not right. You know, like, I want them to know that it's not okay what they're doing, and there is a way to help them.
So, here's another example of just how exploited Justin was. But a lock of his hair sold on eBay for $40,000. Like, that's crazy. A few months later, his tour would end. Now, in November of 2011, a few things happened, okay? He released another album. This was his Christmas album. Iconic. Like, take a break. Now, this Christmas album debuted at #1, and it was like listed as one of the greatest holiday albums of all time by Billboard. He then collaborated with Mariah Carey on her hit All I Want for Christmas Is You. And then we have the Baby Mama Gate. This 20-year-old girl named Mariah Yeater went public to claim that Justin Bieber was the father of her 3-year-old son. She had claimed that her and Justin had relations backstage at a concert at the Staples Center in Los Angeles in 2010. A day later, Justin would post on his Twitter, "So I'm going to ignore the rumors and focus on what's real. A chance to help what I love. Judge me on music. Love y'all." Like, the fact that this gained traction and any news source would pick this up is crazy and wildly inappropriate, especially because Justin's 17. Like, he's still a minor. Mariah went on to more television and radio shows to spread this malicious lie that even furthered her commentary on the controversy. She was 20. Like, that's just so weird. What are you doing? Justin had to say over and over and over again that this was not true. This girl is crazy. She's making up lies. He went on multiple interviews to share his truth. He is not a father.
Mental institution. This is crazy. Bitch needs straight jacket.
Justin Bieber goes on NBC's Today Show, denying a woman's claim that he fathered her baby boy.
I just like to say basically that none of those allegations are true, and I know that I'm going to be a target, but I'm never going to be a victim.
The 17-year-old Bieber says he never met Mariah Yeater. She claims they had sex in a bathroom in Los Angeles after one of his concerts when she was 19. Yeater has filed a paternity suit against Bieber.
Never met the woman.
Yeater is asking a judge for child support and a paternity test. She gave birth to a boy in July, describing herself as a stay-at-home mom. For every concert, he goes from the stage to his car, making such an encounter impossible.
A few weeks later, Mariah finally dropped the lawsuit, and so people started to be like, okay, wait, maybe she's not credible.
You lying bitch! Okay? You fucking
Justin Bieber's lawyers also reportedly were going to sue her for defamation, so that could be the reason why she dropped the lawsuit. Anyway, a few days later, Mariah's actual baby daddy confessed that he was the real dad. He then came out to say that Mariah essentially lied about everything for monetary gain because they were both homeless. I guess Mariah saw how big Justin was and thought she could make a quick buck from the press, and the baby daddy actually felt really bad for Justin and said Justin's just a kid and he doesn't need to be thrown in all this drama, and he has a career to focus on, and that he feels bad for him. Now, it was around this time when he would start working on his second studio album titled Believe, and later went on to The Ellen Show to announce his first single, Boyfriend. Now, Boyfriend was released right after Justin turned 18, and when Justin turned 18, the marketing had to change. So they cut his hair, his voice is deeper, and his first single, Boyfriend, comes out on March 26, 2012.
Anyway, so you tweeted out that you have a big announcement, and what is your big announcement?
My big announcement is on March 26th. My first single is coming out, and it's called Boyfriend.
All right.
Yes.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting.
That's very exciting.
The song is basically, I'm talking to this girl. I'm like, you know, if I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's talking, and I'm like,
did you write it?
Yeah, I wrote it with Mike Posner.
Mm-hmm.
So we wrote it, and the verses I'm kind of like talking, rapping, and then on the hook I'm singing, and it's a really awesome song.
As time goes on, we see Justin kind of spiraling more and more. In May of 2012, right before Believe was set to come out, Justin was involved in a minor scuffle with a paparazzi while leaving a mall with Selena. Paparazzi filed a police report, but no criminal charges were filed.
Justin Bieber made time Tuesday to wave to fans before a concert in Norway and to release Die in Your Arms, the second single off his new album. What he has not made time for is talking to police. After more than 3 days, LA County Sheriff's investigators still have not spoken to Bieber about charges that he roughed up this photographer. Once they do talk to the star, they say they'll most likely forward the case to the DA, who could charge Bieber with battery. Meantime, new details and video are emerging from the scuffle. This newly released video shows the still unnamed photographer getting into an ambulance, being treated by paramedics. He says he was pushed by the 18-year-old pop star. Witnesses, including other photographers, say Bieber lost his cool and his shoe after the paparazzo snapped photos of Bieber and girlfriend Selena Gomez, later blocking their car. Got out of the car, came this way, and then Humble was right here. No, this is what happened. Boom, just punched him against the car. During the aftermath, as Gomez apparently tried to calm down her boyfriend, witnesses say she lost her phone, and some even accused the paparazzi of taking it. We don't have the phone. We really don't. I don't know how else to tell you guys. I really don't have it. At a Memorial Day party, Gomez, however, was in no mood to chat, blowing off questions about the incident. Selena, was that self-defense with Justin? Yeah, what happened? Was that self-defense with Justin, Selena?
Now, the paparazzi were extremely invasive with Justin. I mean, there were many accounts when it was given Princess Diana a little bit, and Justin even called the police to help him one time.
911 emergency, what are you reporting? Hello, I have like 5 cars following me.
It sounds like the scared voice of a teenager, hardly the voice of a mega pop star.
Do you know the people that are following you? No, I don't. They're driving really reckless. They just will not stop following me. And what's your name? Justin.
He doesn't even want to give his real name.
What's your last name? Johnson.
But ABC News has learned it was Justin Bieber, calling 911 Friday to report those paparazzi in hot pursuit. The recording obtained by a Los Angeles radio station and posted on TMZ.
They're being very dangerous, swerving around other cars trying to get to me.
One witness says the Biebs hit speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. Officers pulled him over and issued a speeding ticket. During the stop, the paparazzi were there snapping away. Even after, when Bieber headed back onto the freeway, they stuck close. That's when he called 911 and tried to explain his side of the story.
I was driving fast so that I could try to get away from them. Right. And I got pulled over myself. That's the craziest thing ever. And then when I tried to explain it to the police officers, they were just like, you waive your right to privacy when you're a celebrity. But that makes absolutely no sense when they're the ones being dangerous.
You bitches are evil and you need to be destroyed!
Now, on June 19th, 2012, his second studio album, Believe, was released by Island Records, and this was a big shift in his career from him going, like I said, to the teeny boppers to now the young adults. It was more R&B, a little more dance pop instead of just teen pop. It really kind of matured his sound and was really kind of a reinvention of Justin as he matured into adulthood. Believe debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. He went out on tour again. Now, this tour went through the end of 2013. He played over 150 shows and had 7 different legs.
I mean, in terms of staying power, look at the people who've made it, who started as child stars. Yes. Michael Jackson. But then look at David Cassidy. Look at some of the others. I mean, there's some on a trajectory, huge, famous stars.
Yes.
Others, goodbye, here one day, gone the next.
Yes.
How do you know which one you're going to be?
I think that being humble and being able to just have that ability to show others positive messages and being able to influence others in a positive way.
Are you humble?
I think so, yes.
What makes you humble?
I think it's very good to surround your people with people that aren't going to just make you feel like you're bigger, because there are people that have done that, put people around them that, oh, what do you want? Can I get you something?
So you say they feed into their ego and they make the ego larger than it is.
Yes.
Will you know if you've crossed the line and become obnoxious?
I think I will. I think that there are so many kid stars that have fallen down the wrong path and that have just done the wrong thing because this is a hard business and people just lose themselves.
For adults, never mind children, global adulation is very, very difficult to deal with. Just look at the list. You know, Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, Judy Garland, the entire cast of Different Strokes. I mean, what happened to these kids? They went off the rails because for one reason or another, when the fame got too much and the celebrity got too much and they weren't able to cope with being what the world wanted them to be, they fell apart and there was nobody there to catch them. And that at some point will happen to Justin. And what depends on whether he succeeds or fails in that transformation and getting through that will be the support he gets and the people who are around him.
In September 2012, this tour started in Glendale, Arizona, and on his first night of tour, he threw up on stage, and this video ended up going viral. He ended up apologizing to his fans, but it does kind of beg the question of, like, should he really been going on tour? Like,
6-year-old Avalana Ruth is a huge Justin Bieber fan.
So bad.
And now there's a Facebook page dedicated to trying to get her to meet the pop superstar.
Avalana had become Mrs. Bieber at her hospital. She had a rare disease. She loved Justin, and they got a cardboard cutout of Justin, and she had a whole fake wedding at her hospital with this cardboard cutout. So I called Justin. He said, let's meet her. And, you know, it was supposed to be a quick meet and greet, and he ended up spending hours with her.
I met with her, and it wasn't normal. It was different. It wasn't like I was just meeting a fan. It was like, it was so special. I sat down, I played board games with her. I thought she was super adorable.
Nice and toy. They're mine.
They got really, really close, like a big brother. But she called him her husband. He called her Mrs. Bieber.
She is Mrs. Bieber. And basically, she had her own little wedding at the hospital. Yeah. She was like, you're my husband, so my mom's your mother-in-law. And she's so little, and it's like, wow, she's so cute. Ducks, ducks, quack, 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 quacks.
he was singing to her, and then he goes, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "It's so loud in here. Why are they screaming? You're my husband."
Wanna give me a hug? Okay, we'll get you some earphones, sweetie. Come on, let's go.
So that's a very special girl right there. Basically, she has a condition. It's just like she means everything to me because she's so strong and she's sorry, I'm getting emotional. And I just want every one of you to just maybe tonight say a little prayer for her. And slowly, her talking and her speech started to slow down, and her eyes started shutting on her left side, and it was just it was just hard to see. But Mr. Bro.
Our first show, Avalana, unfortunately, got just 4 days earlier, and all of us were feeling it.
Tonight's Lonely Girl is super special because this song is dedicated to sweet Avalana. So Avalana, if you're listening, I love you, and everyone in here loves you as well. So this one's for you.
And Justin just didn't feel like it was right to sing to a girl that night because he had just shared the last time he performed on This Lonely Girl, which was her in the chair. We took a bunch of pictures, we put them into a huge montage. And during one of This Lonely Girl, we went up on the screen. And he didn't walk to the chair, he walked to the top, and he stared, and he sang to the screen. I think that was his way of saying goodbye.
This kid is burnt out. He has to be in some kind of psychosis at this point.
He would just be on the bus, and he would just be in a stare. Just like, just be like, hey, it's 7 a.m. Barely slept anything, just had a show, 3 shows in a row, so exhausted. You just want to run in the hotel and just go to sleep. There's a lot more people outside, there's a lot more people at the bus, so it's hard to be normal. We can sneak off and try to be as normal as possible. But feeling normal, I don't think that's possible. When he's hiding in the trunk of a car so he can go get ice cream, sticking his hand out of the trunk just to feel air so he doesn't go crazy of claustrophobia. And we're doing all of this just to sneak to go grab some ice cream. How can that even feel halfway normal?
It's been since 2009, nonstop. In about 4 years of just working, being kind of a puppet, being in the public eye, being scrutinized, having this weird parasocial relationship with society. You transitioning and going through puberty is extremely public. Your mom is nowhere to be found. You're hanging out with adults all the time. It's just, it's really sad. Now on his Believe album, he did have a song called Maria, and it is about the whole Mariah Yetter situation. And the song is actually very Michael Jackson inspired if you listen to it. And throughout this tour, we really see Justin's mental health take a extreme turn for the worst. Justin was also sued this year for $9.2 million from a woman claiming she suffered permanent hearing loss at his concert in Portland, Oregon.
I want you to stop getting hysterical over nothing.
Okay, yeah, she dropped it. I was about to say, what? Well, then the next year, 2013, Believe acoustic version was released on January 29th, and it debuted at #1, making Justin the first artist in history to have 5 #1 albums in the United States before turning 19. Justin returned to Saturday Night Live in February of 2013, but it didn't get great reception. This was really when his public image started to go downhill, and for someone who was put on such a pedestal at such a young age, became rich, famous very quickly, and then to start having that kind of pulled out from under you when you're still not even 21, nonetheless 25 when your frontal lobe is fully developed, that can't be good. February of this year, pictures were leaked of him, I think 2 other rappers, with marijuana and lean, but not good. So in March, he also has a little bit of another breakdown. This is all leading up to the infamous, what did you say? It all starts on his 19th birthday. On his 19th birthday, he comes back to his hotel in London, shirtless. It was 37 degrees, but it's fine. And then later, he's denied entry into a club and he gets pissed and then basically says it was the worst birthday ever on Twitter. Well, then 3 days later, he has a show in Dubai. He was 2 hours late. And the press had a field day with this. And they said that it was because he wouldn't stop playing video games, to which he responded 4 days later on Twitter. This was really when the cracks in Justin that were slowly the last 4 years being broken into him break completely. He basically says these are all lies, only God can judge me, and that night he goes to a fancy restaurant, but he's wearing a gas mask, so we don't really know. The next day, Justin was hospitalized after he collapsed during a concert in London. And then the next day, March 8th, was when the paparazzi incident happened.
Give us some space, guys. We gotta What's assault? That's assault. You're in our way. You did it. We had to walk move out the way, man. What was that? You gotta move out the way. Fucking little cock. Fuck off back to America. Fucking little moron. What you say? You heard what I said, man. What'd you say? You heard what I fucking said, mate. Lose your fucking belt. Lose your fucking belt. Lose your fucking belt. I'm back, you prick. I'm back, you prick. Right? That's all I'm fucking little cock.
Literally a grown man whose job is to follow people around and take pictures of them. Yeah.
You are stupid. You're not smart. You're not smart.
I've been chased by those same people the whole trip, and they were talking nonsense the whole time, like verbally assaulting me. As a human being, rage comes out, and I happened to snap, and I opened the door, and I was like, what do you guys talk? I really wanted to hit it. We ended up peeling off. I learned from that. That's what they wanted. They wanted to get a reaction out of me so that they could print that, so that they could make me seem like this, I'm out of control. But really, I have a heart and I have feelings, and when people hurt my heart, I'm gonna get angry, upset, and lash out sometimes because I'm human.
About a week later, he goes on like an Instagram rant and then disses Lindsay Lohan and like her tax statements, to which he then later deletes and apologizes. And then about a week or 2 after that, he had a concert in Germany and he flew in without proper documentation, and he flew in with his pet monkey and he couldn't bring his monkey in. And he essentially just kind of abandoned it and never came back for it. And now it's at a zoo in Germany. So it's really sad, actually. But it just goes to show, who is letting him do this? Like, he's young. He's only 19. Why is he getting away with this stuff? Where's Patty? His next stop in his tour was in Vienna, and there he was banned from a nightclub because his bodyguards smashed their cameras, apparently, destroyed cell phones, and even assaulted young female fans. This month, he was also charged with battery for spitting on his neighbor. Justin was apparently speeding, and by speeding, I mean going over 100 miles per hour in his gated community, to which his neighbor was like, slow down. I guess an altercation ensued, and Justin hogged a loogie at this man and then threatened to kill him. Apparently, a NFL football player, Keyshawn Jackson, confronted Justin, who also lived in the same gated community as him, and told him to slow his ass down. Someone on Twitter also said, I live in Calabasas too, and Justin Bieber needs to slow his ass down. So this is not very good. Now, this same month was when the infamous Anne Frank trip ensued. We all know what happened there. He left an entry in the guest book at the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam that said, "Truly inspiring to be able to come here. Anne was a great girl. Hopefully she would have been a believer."
You said recently that Anne Frank could have been a believer.
I went to the Anne Frank Museum, and they said that she was into pop culture. And at the end of went over a 2-hour visit, I said I hope she would have been a believer.
Did you mean that if the Nazis had not taken her, and she lived to be in her 80s, she would have liked your music, presumably due to loss of hearing? Or, because I can see how this could get lost in translation, I think that you were talking about time travel, and that you think that if you could build a machine and go back to visit Anne Frank, she would have been a believer then. Is that true? Because I don't know what to believe.
I want to be a time traveler.
I'm like convinced he was on drugs at this time for sure. Although we don't really know. We know that he was around drugs during this time, but obviously we don't know if he was using drugs when he was doing behaviors or engaging in behaviors like this, like really ignorant behaviors and harmful behaviors, like hawking a loogie at your neighbor or rightfully telling you to slow down. He then posts a cartoon of himself snuggling shirtless in bed with one of his fans who also seems naked. What is this? Okay, yeah, so he tweets a picture. It's a cartoon of him and a believer, and obviously it's a picture of them like after they just had intimate relations. So that's weird. Towards the end of April, Swedish law enforcement raided his tour bus after they noticed a strong smell of weed coming from the bus when it was parked in front of the hotel where Justin was staying. They ended up finding a small amount of weed as well as a taser. But this was about 2 weeks after the Anne Frank incident. So not even halfway into 2013 and we already have an abundance of controversies. In May of 2013, he went to the Billboard Music Awards where he accepted his milestone award, and unfortunately he was loudly booed at this ceremony.
The first ever milestone award for musical ingenuity and innovation, and it goes to, you ready?
Yes.
Justin Bieber!
Justin Bieber is the first artist under 19 to have 5 number ones on the Billboard 200.
I think it's, I'm 19 years old. I'm 19 years old. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. And basically, from my heart, I really just want to say, it should really be about the music. It should be about the craft that I'm making. And this is not a gimmick. This is not a gimmick. I'm an artist, and I should be taken seriously. And this, all this other bull should not be spoken of. I want to thank my manager, Scooter Braun. I want to thank my family at home. I want to thank my mother, my father. I want to thank Jesus Christ. Mom, I love you so much. Dad, I love you. Little brother and sister, I love you so much. Thank you guys so much. Fans, you're incredible.
Now, we fast forward to July of 2013. This is the famous piss bucket incident. Essentially, Justin was in New York City. A video went viral where he is peeing in a restaurant mop bucket and screaming F Bill Clinton.
Now why am I in it?
And you could have did it.
See how I get wrong
because you never apologized.
He then sprays a picture of Bill Clinton with a bottle of blue liquid.
We swagger, man. You know, this is just a better spot to fit.
What are we? We the Wild Kids, y'all!
Wild Kids!
Wild Kids in this
Apparently, Bill Clinton calls Justin because Justin later tweets and apologizes to the former president. Thanks for taking the time to talk, Mr. President. Your words mean a lot. # great guy. Later in July, when he was crossing back into Canada, weed was found on his tour bus again. Now, in November of 2013, Justin was caught on camera in Brazil, allegedly sneaking out of a popular brothel, hiding under a bedsheet. He was also charged with vandalism in Brazil for spray painting the wall of a building with the face of a monkey wearing hoop earrings and a nose ring, an image some have deemed racist. This incident happened after Justin was escorted away by police in Colombia while spray painting a wall there as well. Additionally, he was detained in Australia because custom agents were searching him and his group for drugs, and Justin was using foul language with the agents. They ended up finding weed, and one of his friends just ended up paying the fine for it, and they were on their way. But again, just kind of shows the drug use. Like, if they're actively not caring about weed like that, to where they're like constantly getting stopped over and over and over again, like imagine like behind the scenes. Now, around this same time, promotion didn't stop. Justin announced that he would release a new song every Monday for 10 weeks as a lead up to his film Believe, which would be released on Christmas later that year. John M. Chu returned. So John, where were you? Why weren't you like, maybe we shouldn't? Enablers, all these adults enabling him to the point where he grows up to be an adult and has absolutely zero life skills, a shitload of trauma, and millions of dollars. So he released these 10 songs and ended up revealing that, hey, these 10 songs are actually going to be on my next album called Journals, which would also feature 5 additional songs and a music video. Around December 2013, Justin would come out publicly to say him and Selena had officially split. It really affected them, especially when they were in front of so many people. And since it's so public, it was just very hard, but he still proclaimed his love for her. His Believe tour finally wrapped up in December 2013. Journals was released December 23rd, 2013. 2 days later on Christmas, his Believe movie was released. Now, after this high profile, highly exploitative, no parental guidance in the mid to late teen years, being forced by adults to work for adults, a lot of people made money, obviously, not just Justin. Public scrutiny, public meltdowns, many awards. He's an accredited child prodigy at this point. Public relationship, public puberty, like the list goes on, you name it. Justin decides at the end of 2013 that it is time for him to retire. On Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas, he tweets, "My beloved believers, I am officially retiring." He says this is because the media makes up a lot of lies about him. And a week before he tweets this, he was on a radio interview and basically said that he did want to quit music. So Justin Bieber decides he wants to end his 5-year career. He's ready to hang up his purple hoodie and call it a day.
5 years down the road, I maybe see myself furthering my career, maybe win a Grammy, as well as maybe moving forward into acting more, maybe starring in a movie, which would be great. So I see myself.
So pretty lofty ambitions.
Yes.
This is just the beginning.
Yes.
And that's where I leave you. Part 1 of Another Day, Another Exploited Child Star, the Justin Bieber deep dive. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This is a little bit more of a serious video. I'm really excited to deep dive in the next chapter of Justin. We're gonna be going through 2014 2014 up till now. So we have about a decade of things to get through and talk about just the current events. And hopefully this will bring light to celebrity culture addiction, as Addie suffered with addiction. I feel like there is a responsibility when talking about it, because if I don't create some kind of awareness for the struggles that he went through, then I'm exploiting him too. So despite the controversies, I think it is important to talk about not only child stars and exploiting children for money and monetary gain via these adults, but also men's mental health in general. And who set that system up? I know.
You know, most people commit suicide are men. Most people who work in dangerous workplaces are men. Most people who fight in war are men.
And who set that system up?
But like, we have to talk about it. If we don't talk about it, nothing's gonna happen. So all mental health is really important. If you are struggling, please reach out. There are many avenues for you to get help, no matter how you feel or what society has told you. And you matter, you have purpose. There are people that are here to support you. My next video will be part 2 of the Justin Bieber deep dive. I love doing deep dives, like I said, so expect more deep dives. And then I will be doing just other random videos of my hobbies. And be sure to follow me on Instagram. Feel free to follow me on Goodreads, Letterboxd, Pinterest, TikTok, Spotify. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Take care. I'll see you next video, and stay safe out there. Bye.